Thank you, Shubhajit, for those lovely introductions, calling me Diva, most of all. Thank you so much. So we have a very young and dynamic set of speakers here. Our topic says New Age Architecture. So what I'll be asking my expert panel members here is about your views on what's happening in the industry and what exactly you are doing in your respective fields. So in the interest of time, let me straight away go to my first question. We are talking about new age architecture, but what exactly is driving this shift from conventional to the new age or agile way of building and designing? So from everyone, starting with you, Sheettal, what exactly are top 2 or 3 factors you think is creating that shift?
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here on this platform and speaking about what is shifting. So, what according to me, I feel there are certain factors that have shifted, more of awareness, more of technology, which has come into the place. So basically, I come from a background wherein we design, we build workspaces, we build residences. We are into a lot of other industries as well. Well, I understand that the shift has come due to technology, innovation, the generation which is changing, that has got into a lot of creativity. We are also getting more aware about low carbon, zero footprint. So the shift has come from that perspective.
Okay. Technology generation, new generation is very tech savvy, and innovation, and I think the awareness for being more eco-friendly is something which is driving this shift. Sachin, what do you have to say? What would be the 2-3 factors you think?
I think primarily, according to me, speed and responsiveness is the major factor behind this shift. Conventionally, when I started my career, I could, work on a few thousand square footage of, buildings, smaller buildings, institutional campuses. We did not hit the IT segment till then. As I grew up in my practice and my, overall designing buildings, I've realized that massive footprints are hitting Indian market. So we have started immediately talking millions and, square footage is highly impacting. Large footprints where we, the title itself is said, build fast, build green, and, quality is also very equally important because a lot of MNCs are hitting India and, they expect similar quality as we could, experience in the foreign environments. So there was an immense level of responsibility light on the architects. I have fortunately seen a whole of that shift. Working in London for 7-8 years, I've realized how quality can be generated. True. The moment I came back to India, I realized just the quality won't work. We need to have a really, faster speed. And then the green initiatives were also, popping up very fast as we are, being in real estate, we need to be green as well. It's very much essential. So that's the shift, I guess.
Speed, scale, and probably the quality. The quality now everyone wants one step more.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
exactly.
Great.
We are dealing with global standards today.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
scale of projects definitely have much bigger, footprints, as you said. Karan, what according to you is creating this shift?
So, I come from a background where we are doing majorly architectural projects of various scales from 2 lakh square feet to 40 lakh square feet of township, residential commercial developments. One thing I've realized in my last 10 years of career in India is that slow and steady only sounds good in riddles and fables and my child's story books. It's all about giving the right thing, the right quality, but also at the right time. And more than tech, I think it's about a human efficiency also. You can have all the tech in the world, but I think what is changing and what is shifting, at least for me as an employer, I'm very particular about what my team is, who work with me, who is working on the project. Because I think when quality and when speed matters, of course your fees also matter. So I am fortunate to have 2-3 of my nice clients here. And and I'm saying it in a very nice way that you know, you're demanding a certain fee. What is shifting? If you ask the developers, they'll be like, oh my God, architects are charging this much. It has changed, that has changed too, right? So you're giving quality, you're giving speed, and you're demanding a certain enhancement in your fee. So what is the end product that you're giving? So according to me, I think what matters the most, what is shifting for me as an architect, as an employer, is the kind of people I'm working with. That is the biggest shift that has happened. अब वो substandard काम और quality शायद हम नहीं चला पाएंगे, but I think substandard mentality is even worse, which we don't want to deal with.
The change in mindset, whether it is consumer, whether it is developer, they are ready to pay a premium if they get a quality work, timely delivery. So that's great, win-win situation for everyone. Sachin, you're, sorry. Yeah, tell me.
So I think, good afternoon everyone. I think my
Durvesh.
answer, Durvesh,
Sorry.
yeah. So I think they have more or less summed up my answer. So it's more about the scale of the project for us and the finishing that goes along with it. The quality that right now is expected from the client as well as the end users has just grown up tremendously. We just had a session previously which talked about the experience, but creating experience centers and actually having the tactile feeling of what the end product is going to be.
Right.
So that has driven this massive change in finishing and kind of, you know, shift towards high-tech oriented systems. So for example, if we have right now so many structures, so many buildings that are being erected with non-structural RCC walls, so it gives you that kind of a finish. At the end of the day, it also it is assumed that it is going to reduce the maintenance of the end user too. So these are the factors that are actually shifting the change from conventional to a more tech-oriented systems.
So change of mindsets, people want quality, people want timely delivery, which is creating the entire shift from the professionals as well as the clients. Like all our speakers are saying, innovation, technology and sustainability are other factors which are now making this new gen architecture tech-oriented, but as Karan said, also people-oriented, because after all, behind every tech, it is people.
No,
So,
but I have this thing to say that, you know, this technology, sustainability and everything sounds so amazing and like, you know, catchy in a conversation to sound, like you just sound very mature when you use these words. But ultimately, it really boils down to who, like, what is your mentality in terms of what you're bringing out on the table. Yeah. All of this can be replaceable if you don't have, like, but one thing that cannot be replaceable is the talent you have. You cannot be sustainable, you cannot be technologically savvy, you cannot be a lot of things, but if you're not talented, you can't be anything.
We'll talk about that also later on. But before that, one technology that you all think is going to change the way we design, maybe in next 5 to 10 years, one technology. Sheettal, let's start with you again.
So this technology is already in place. It's just that it's not gained traction in India, but there are other countries who have kind of started. We all understand and know about AI and automation and faster productivity, productivity, etc. There's something called as additive manufacturing, which has already it's like a pre-fabricated thing which is done, and you know, you just go on site and things are getting done. It's low labor intensive, more of standardized, kind of a 3D printing wherein we know how the format is, it's fed, and it will just create in less number of, probably not even in months, it can be done in days. So there are companies in Australia and even the government is backing up. So this is something which is already not in mind, but it's already achieved. The rest of the countries, I think, will follow. This will create more faster projects, low on cost. It will come with certain challenges, of course, but I think it will, the turnaround time will be very fast with a good quality output.
Okay, fantastic. Sachin, you know, what do you think would be the technology you are betting on?
I think we have seen a lot of technology driven solutions in past 2 decades where we have started, particularly construction industry, if I have focused to. We have seen a lot of softwares infusing when we are on board. We have seen a lot of technology shift changing on site as well. Going ahead, I believe that generative AI could help us create faster packages within our offices. Add that time towards research maybe. So whatever we could generate, and if we could save more time, we could add that up to a bit of research. So that's what I think we have also trying to do that within our offices. If the technology is helping us reduce some time frame within the productions, let's use that for the research. On site, I strongly believe a couple of clients have been insisting us to work on these as well, is the prefab construction methodologies. The only hurdle at the moment I see is the time that is required to create all those packages within the office even before the construction or any activity starts on site. So we don't really have that much of time in hand. Generally, we are designing something, and then if the funds are ready, the construction has to start ASAP, where that gap we couldn't find to create those, very ultimate packages, right, which could take us till the GFC and even before the construction starts. So sometimes for a very, optimistic project or a very landmark-driven project where clients give us a free hand, we generally prepare all the GFC's level drawings right in the beginning, even before the construction starts. So that's very ideal, I assume, but it's not very realistic in many cases.
Okay. So technologies that will fast track our manufacturing, fast track our construction, something what Sachin and Sheettal are saying is going to change the way we are going to design and build.
I have also
Karan?
witnessed that, a few developers are complaining about the labor camps within city are, very, not really possible. So manpower is also going to be a very big challenge. It already is a very big challenge in urban areas.
Yeah.
So prefab, I think, is inevitable
yeah,
in the coming years.
Everyone is talking about that.
Yeah.
I was just going to tell that if you're going to tell it, if Sachin says that, if we have technology that can produce the drawings faster, then that technology will be available with the clients as well, then why will they come to us? So, but I understand where he's coming from, but I think the technology I'm very excited to see in India is the use of robotics with AI in the performance-based systems of a building. So I had recently gone to Dubai where they had used service robots. So basically robots that actually do the change of piping, drainage pipes, the HVAC, they monitor, or it's basically through a coded system. I think we should use technology and the interface of technology more once the building is made, because that's when the designer goes out of the picture. That's when the architect and the consultants go out of the picture, because all the paperwork is kind of given. We should use technology more for the operations part, which I think a lot of other countries are doing, which I'm very excited to see what happens when it happens in India.
Yeah, completely. Robotics is something everyone is talking about again, and as you said, so from the operational technology in the operational side of the buildings is something which is again going to be a big factor going in very near future. Durvesh, according to you, what technology is going to bring a paradigm change?
In terms of the construction systems, construction methods, I mean, we feel, see, 3D printing right now is still at a very nascent stage in all over the world. But some combination, so in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to still take a lot of time for it to actually come in the structural realm of the of construction. Yeah. But we feel that a combination of, say, 3D printing, part structural, part some prefab technology, and part probably aluminum formwork or any other kind of advanced formwork that can be used. So a hybrid technology is something that we feel is going to take over the construction method, construction system, the building management systems also, because it is actually going to make everyone's job pretty simple that way and save a lot of time. That is a big
3D printing, yeah, we never know, in next 5 to 10 years it becomes mainstream. So 3D printing, all the technologies which are going to make our operations of the building, manufacturing of the products, and the construction, prefab we are already seeing becoming quite mainstream these days. So these are the technologies which our speakers say are going to change our way of designing and building maybe in next 5 to 10 years. Now let me come to your own way of doing things. Our topic says build fast, build quality. What is the biggest challenge you all have faced when you have to manage the timelines as well as the quality? Karan, let's start with you. So what's the biggest challenge you faced?
The biggest challenge is to accept that both of them can happen at the same time.
They both
If
can
you
happen
want,
together?
I mean, you know, it's the most cliche example to say that, oh, Taj Mahal was not built in one day. So you cannot, yeah, I mean, of course, 100%, I'll give you all the quality and all the, you know, the best design and the best finishing details, but it will take time. But if you don't want that to take time, then I'll probably not be able to furnish those details. And if I'm able to do both, I'll charge you more. So it's as simple as that. But I think
But it is doable, you are saying.
it is absolutely doable because I think what one forgets is that when you want to build fast and when you want to build because you have to sell something, let's just say, I'm not talking about individual resident homes, or, you know, I'm talking about the developer portfolio, which I think most of us here work with. So if you are building fast, you're getting a sooner turnaround. So what's there in for me to benefit from? Now that I'm making it very practical. We'll keep saying that, okay, let's, if I don't want to compromise on quality and I still want to give a drawing that will take 1 week in 1 day, then it's going to need more manpower, it's going to need my personal attention, and it's going to need my personal time that I would have probably been at home, but I would now be in office and give it to you. Then what's there in that for me? Leaving the, you know, the interpersonal side aside, if you ask me whether I should compromise on quality or compromise on the time, trust me, when people say that, I think most of us must have experienced it, when they ask you that, aapne drawing bheja? So they just care whether aapne bheja. They don't see whether aapne drawing kya bheja, kaun sa bheja, file khol ke. I think I have 2-3 of my dear friends here, and they'll agree. So it's an Indian mentality of trying to do things faster just for the heck of it. But when you genuinely mean project timelining, I think the first thing when it comes to building quality on time is a very good project management chart. If I know from day one that I'm going to need first 50 days of the project are going to be so crucial that I have to give all my details, like Sachin mentioned that he would want to have the GFCs of the entire project ready in the first month. Great. That also means he'll put that many resources on it. It will not be an underplanned decision. So I think more project managerial thing than an architect's role. That is something that I think I would expect out of it.
Okay, great. So we can have timely delivery and we can have quality if our project management is sorted. It's on, you know, online. Sachin, do you agree? You know, it's the project management rather than the architect's role.
Absolutely right. I agree with Karan. I would also like to add some more aspects of design management when we are on the paper and on the site. So two different scenarios, both are equally responsible achieving the time frames. I have really witnessed a few projects happening in their stringent timelines, and you know, on day one, even I could not believe that it will happen. But yes, things are happening, and it is the mandate. It is not anyone else's choice, but the client's demand, and Indians are fulfilling all those demands for the clients. On a personal note, what I have realized, this is a generic scenario where a lot of stringent deadlines are there. But on a personal note, I feel when there is a clear crystal brief from our clients, once they are determined about, you know, what they want, how they want, that really helps architects, you know, achieve whatever within the stipulated time frames. We can definitely achieve it, regardless what softwares, what either AI or not. Right. I think once we commit, we can do that. But if the change of brief is happening constantly, that's where I think everything starts falling down, and then, you know, then controlling something of that sort is going to be...
And sorry, I just want to add one thing. I think design is so subjective. Like, you know, I can go on designing for 6 months, and I can finish designing in 7 days as well. It's also somewhere where that line has to be drawn, right, which I think all of us would be like, okay, you know, and honestly, I think as designers, we tend to get way more passionately involved in a project than any client
other
would get
stakeholder.
on their own project. Yeah.
So in our early days of our practice, when I started on my own, I still remember I was very much conscious about the timelines, and I didn't want to let the client feel that we have been not as fast as we could be compared to our competitors and the large practices that they have. So we always used to work little, start little early and, try to get those packages even before they could ask us. So, there's a sort of, backup already prepared. So there are a lot of gaps in the design process that one could get. And if we are focused enough, we can definitely, create a backup for ourselves. And that's how the timelines can be met with.
Durvesh, you agree it starts from the client?
From the client.
The briefs coming on time, not changing, frequently, and then the project management, and within that, the designer's role, because you are passionate about design, and
The brief is changing.
so
The client's brief is important. The marketing team's contribution is also equally important because they also come and kind of, thoda isko change karo, thoda we want this luxury flat to have this area, that area. So this flexibility that one needs to achieve with respect to design is something that slightly compromises on the quality.
Sheettal, you are on that end, the marketing side and this thing. So how do you see all these timelines and building quality and building fast is what is the biggest challenge?
So challenge is always a part of life, be it individual or a project or you consider anything. So there's always a fight between when you see the journey of how a real estate transaction works is from the land to the excavation to statutory approvals to construction and to the finished product versus the delivery. You will see challenges at all stages. Sometimes if the land is clear, the approvals are in place, however, the construction could be a challenge. So when it comes to building faster, building with quality, definitely expectation versus having a realistic timeline plays a very important role because of course, proper management, proper planning, that goes hand in hand along with the finished output, keeping in mind that this is something which is a vision which is given to by the architect to the developer. So challenges are a part, however, it is not something which is unachievable. We go through this on a daily basis. When it comes to residential fit-outs or office fit-outs, we have as stringent timeline as 60 to 75 days to 90 days versus, of course, residentials and other projects. Depending on the size of project, it could vary.
That's right. So as our speakers say, we can build fast, we can build quality. It all boils down to project management, and it all boils down to the transparency and collaboration between all the stakeholders. And the money part, as Karan says, that if you want both, you need to spend to get that. We covered build fast, build quality. Now comes build green. What is, Sachin, your approach to bringing sustainability in a project? Very quickly, how do you bring that?
I think I primarily look at the contextual analysis of the site, the orientation, the very, very basic factors of designing. So most of my personal sustainability lies in the concept of the building. Followed which, I think a very critical integration of all the services, again, will contribute to the sustainability. And then the materiality of it. So very quickly and briefly, this is how I would go for sustainability, and we could design buildings with a kind of platinum rated with material applications and stuff like that. But before that, I think very well, conceptualized buildings can give you a, fairly good, category of sustainable
I think if you have placed your building right, orientation, half of the sustainability is done there only.
Exactly.
Great. Karan, what's your approach to
So I have a very,
sustainability?
when it comes to sustainability, I have a very, very controversial approach, which is that if you are an architect or you're in the construction industry and you deal with concrete and steel, you are not sustainable.
Yeah.
Okay? So if anyone who is telling you that you're sustainable is, okay, you're doing lesser harm to the environment. If you are genuinely sustainable, you need to stay in the forest. You cannot stay in an urban city, be on a 38th floor in a residential apartment and say that you are sustainable. Okay, so my approach towards sustainability is very different, and actually that's something that we follow in our studio. That is that if it's ugly, it's not sustainable. Now I'll tell you why I'm saying that. If it's ugly, you'll probably tear that apart sooner. It'll get redeveloped sooner. If it's not built with quality, it will be redeveloped sooner. It will be changed sooner. It will be broken down sooner. So the lesser impact you can bring is by designing it more consciously, like how he's talking about orienting the building so that there's probably ventilation and daylight more, so that you put lesser harm to the environment in terms of the HVAC system or the lighting. That's the least you can do, because as an architect or a designer, you have that role to play for the environment. But if you really say that buildings are sustainable, they are not sustainable.
That's right. The mere act of construction is against
Is
nature.
not sustainable.
Yeah, but what best we can do is, Karan has said, that if we can increase the life duration of any project, any aspect of a building, so that it has a more life cycle that helps save the resources, save our environment. Sheettal, what is your approach when it comes to bringing sustainability?
See, I feel that a lot of individuals, developers, clients, everyone is becoming aware about using sustainable products, something which has zero carbon footprint, which is very far to achieve right now. Because with the rapidly growing development and the kind of sizable amount that we need in terms of construction, steel, concrete, etc., it's a demand versus supply game. However, if everybody is taking the initiative and utilizing natural resources efficiently, I think over a period of time, and also, give versus take ratio, if everybody is responsible enough to understand whatever we are using, we need to give it back to the nature, I think it will balance it out eventually. However, it's definitely a long game, and it's more of a collective effort that has to be taken, and every individual has to own the responsibility.
That's right. It's a collective effort, across the client, the designer, the engineers, all stakeholders have to be part of it. Durvesh, your last word on how you are bringing sustainability. Are you aiming for net zero and buildings and all?
See,
I'm very excited to hear your answer.
no, you shouldn't be. But like Karan said, I mean, if you're doing construction in concrete and steel, I mean, they have the highest embodied energy numbers in the world. So you are not doing environmentally sustainable projects, but you have to look at sustainability on a broader scale. I mean, we kind of, in terms of when we talk about construction, we talk about architecture, we look at environmental sustainability only. But if one is able to integrate the other two aspects of sustainability, which are social sustainability and economic sustainability, if all these three are integrated together, we believe that then it is possible to kind of, not redefine sustainability, but approach it in a holistic manner.
Yeah.
So that holistic approach to a sustainability is more important, and then that is also, that can also create a lot of social awareness about what is to be done, what is not to be done. Because it's just no use in just using green materials and green
Ratings.
green
No,
rating
and I
systems.
think it's also something that it's become such a marketing gimmick that, oh, this building is platinum. I'm so sorry if anyone has a platinum rated building here, but this building is platinum rated. And I've been a part of that project, and I know I have not done anything as an architect to make it sustainable. Because it was a very commercially driven project. It was very, and it's a root cause from our academia to today that we are taught of sustainability as more of an activist job. It's not a design-centric job, like he said. If you just become a little more conscious also of how you design, you're automatically making the building less liable to the environment.
That's true. So sustainability is not just one word or one, a phrase, but it's a complex way of doing things. Absolutely. It requires collective effort, and as our speakers just said, that mere act of construction only goes against the nature. So what we can do is just do the best that we can, not to spoil our nature further. Karan, you also spoke about talent, that everything comes to the talent. We also spoke about AI, Sheettal talked about. Is AI going to replace the designers?
So,
Sometime.
AI replace designers? I don't think so. If you open ChatGPT or Sora or Blink AI, or there are a lot of these apps we tried. We actually kind of tried this for me to answer this question for you. There's Tushar is here, and a lot of us designers, and Mandar is here. So AI is never going to replace designers. AI will replace the back end of designers. I'm really hoping one day AI will make our GFCs so we can design 5 other projects. I think AI is here only and only to assist, not to replace. And it is going to be, and I'm so sorry, but it's so boring to keep answering this question at so many places, not because you asked me, but because it is not. How can AI change? You need the feeders, you need the right feeders for an AI to also replace a designer. If a particular person has that talent to feed to the AI, that person will definitely have the talent to give a one brief which will never change. So I think it's a very, very client-driven business, very consumer-driven business, what we are in. The design business, the built design business that we are in. So AI will never replace it. Yes, it will assist in a lot of back-end operations, which I'm hoping it will do it in a nice way.
Durvesh, what you have to say? Maybe clients just go to an AI, please design this room for me.
I wish.
Is it going to happen?
We hope it doesn't. We hope it doesn't. Fundamentally, because as in AI is, these large LLMs, large learning models and all, they're based on mathematics. They're based on learning on a constant basis, converting that into math, and then coming out with probable outcomes that are tactile in nature to the human being. But what separates AI from us is I think the emotion. The emotion. The emotion. You connect to a project, you connect to a client, you connect to an end user. So that emotional connect is not there because AI can't emote.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is not there so far, at least, with AI.
Sachin, what are the maybe designers would like?
I think we all are embracing technology from a very long time, and we will continue to do that. AI, I think, is gonna take its own course in the few years down the line. And I think I strongly believe that it will help us design better buildings. It will help us make it a little more, sustainable. So, integrating all of those. And as far as the losing the jobs are concerned, I don't think anyone will lose the jobs. Even if it does the GFCs or whatsoever it is.
Same thing happened 20 years back.
I think it is very important to understand, even if AI can help us in that way, we will be the custodian of that particular technology rather than having it given to somewhere else, or even any individuals can't do it. So, for example, the AI can do certain things in medical technology. The doctors will be using it. We will not use it. So, same way, in the similar fashion, I think I have made drawings on the drawing board by hands also. And when AutoCAD came to help us, I realized earlier we used to give only 2 options to our clients. Now with the help of AutoCAD, we could give 4 options. Now we could give 10 options with SketchUp and with all those 3 visuals. So this is how technology is going to help us, but the custodians are going to remain the same. So I'm not in fear of losing any of my jobs. I think that will remain the way it is.
So designers are going to stay. Sheettal,
absolutely.
Yeah, your last word. Are designers continue to rule AI, or is it something maybe like coders? Maybe designers become coders for AI.
So I think while everybody knows that AI is the future, AI cannot replace physical presence or physical availability. AI will not know when you're standing at a certain place on a terrace to understand which side the wind is blowing. So I think that is where the human presence intervention will be required. So while AI will be an enabler, it will help things to move faster with more options. I don't think human creativity can be replaced by AI.
That's correct. I think the entire panel agrees that AI is not going to replace the designers. Our designers and architects are going to, because as you said, emotional intelligence, human connection is something, it cannot come through a machine or through a software. Before we wrap up this, this session, you're still young designers and everything, but still you might have thought of what legacy I would like to leave behind after maybe 50 years or 100 years of my career. So, Sachin, have you thought about what I would like to leave behind as a designer?
I think very precisely in my designs, I would like to have very contextual buildings. So first of all, it represents that area, that locality, or the socio-economic of the place. So I think I keep a very special interest in that, being an urban designer as well, together with architecture. And but I think adaptable buildings is something I would be more interested in, and if I will be known for that particular reason, because the buildings will last for longer and longer. People will keep on using it today for offices, tomorrow for hotels, and the same building can be utilized as something else because the trend is changing very rapidly.
Fantastic. Contextual buildings is what Sachin would be known for. Karan?
I think any legacy that cannot be erased is a legacy to have. So hopefully leaving behind buildings that people don't consider ugly or don't consider that I cannot use them after 20, 30, 40 years. Kind of similar answer than with what Sachin said. But any legacy then that hopefully leaving a legacy that cannot be wiped off.
That's not?
That cannot be wiped off.
That
you cannot erase that.
Fantastic.
Hopefully no one feels like demolishing the legacy I have left behind.
Fantastic. I
That's
think
all. I mean, because thought process keep changing.
Yeah.
Every generation is going to have a very different thought process. My daughter probably thinks in a very different way than what I think, and from what I used to think, from what my father used to think. So as long as the building can adapt to that thought process.
Yeah. Timeless, something which is
something
timeless.
That's timeless, yeah.
Yeah, because in any case, like say, doctors can bury their mistakes, but architects can't. It will still be there. So
I always say that doctors give you life, but architects give you lifestyle.
Wow.
So, thank you. And that's such a TED Talk line, no? Yeah. But yes, I think that's something that I stick by. Which is why you need to pick the right architect for the right job.
True. Sheettal, what's the legacy you would like to leave behind?
Well, I would say that, like everybody's almost spoken about it, something which is timeless, something which is sustainable, cleaner, calmer, and something which can be used by future generations, keeping in mind what has happened in the past and versus what will happen in the future. Something on those lines.
Which is adaptable, which grows with time.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Durvesh?
I always get the last answer to say, and most of my answers are taken up already.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. But yeah, I mean, it is more similar to what the great architect Aldo Rossi had once said, that, he said that buildings are of two types. I mean, one is a pathological building and one is a propelling building. So pathological building dies its own course, and propelling building keeps on getting keeps on adapting to the new use, and that keeps on happening. So our firm's legacy, I hope, is defined by the users, and hope the end users, since we are a human-centric human-centric designers, so let's hope our end users decide our legacy as opposed to redefining it.
So fantastic. I think after listening to all our young designers here, I think the future is bright for our country and for our design fraternity. As they said, their legacy that they want to leave behind is contextual buildings, timeless buildings, adaptable buildings, and buildings which are sustainable, because they are designed not to be sustainable, but they are designed to keep up in sync with the times. Fantastic. I think I couldn't have asked for a better conversation with our young designers today. Thank you so much for being here with us and for answering all the questions. And I know, Durvesh, always you being the last one by default, not by design again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And what was that, right? Doctors give life and architects give lifestyle. I can steal that line for my future shows, right? If I do any real estate event. Anyway, thank you. I'll request Sapna to kindly give away the token of appreciation to all our esteemed speakers over here. You can go forward. You can go and let them.